Alright, so today I'm talking about the differences between the body shapes of the Ibanez S and the RGA. I have here today my Ibanez RGA622XH Axe Design Lab and my Ibanez S671ALB X Ion label. Say that 5 times fast. So both have an arch top and some other common features, but similarities end pretty quickly. Before I jump in, I just gotta say, I'm not famous, I'm not sponsored, I'm not some amazing touring musician, I'm not a virtuoso at guitar. I do the casual online thing, plugging my songs real quick. I'm on Spotify, stuff like that. I do some music videos here too on YouTube, but I'm some guy on the internet who just really likes guitars, as you can see. Also, this is not a review of these guitars. I've reviewed this one, the RGA, so you can check that out on my channel. Maybe in the future I'll review this S. So I'm going to talk about various details of these guitars, but really this discussion is going to talk mostly about the body shape and how they relate, how they differ. So let's talk about the similarities between these. Obviously both have an arched kind of top. They give that Ibanez playing experience. You're not really going to have anything in your way. You're going to have pretty good fret access, although I'm going to talk more about the fret access later. Both bodies tend to have some mahogany in them. Also, both body specs do have hardtail and trem options. Although for the RGA, you're going to have to look to the used market if you want a prestige with the hardtail. At least in the country I'm in. Maybe there's something available in your country. So from there, things start to diverge pretty quickly. You could take a look at the cutaways on the RGA. You've got, obviously, the pointed horns. But also see, I'm holding in the light, you can see there's the carves. Right here, these carves. And that really helps with the fret access. Obviously, this model has 27 frets, but still. The S series is never going to have that. So you're going to kind of feel that edge if you're playing up to the 24th fret like this. Also, the RGA is arched on top, but on the back here, it's flat with the belly cut, as you can see. So this guitar actually sits against my body when I'm standing up much better. The S series has the arched top, and it has an arched back too. And so let's talk about that. That's how they got the guitar to be so thin, as you can see. That also makes the guitar more lightweight. On this one, because there's no trem system or anything, there's no heavy sustain block, no metal parts within, it's just all wood. And it's not the top spec wood. I guess they have more high quality woods be more dense and heavy or something like that. This one's pretty light. The neck can actually be a bit heavy. The balance almost isn't there on this one. It's not terribly neck heavy, but it's not perfect. The thinner body also means that if I'm playing sitting down, see like that, it's easier to push away. It doesn't really anchor in. Obviously, if you're playing, it's not really going to be pushed away that much, but you can kind of feel, and you can kind of push it a bit. If you think about it, maybe if you're playing a part where it's really hard and you really have to focus and you're really moving around, you could get it to fall. So that's just something to think about. You could see on the RGA, it's got a bit more meat to it. So it's going to be a bit more anchored on your leg, as you can see here. It's also a heavier guitar. Obviously, there are different price points. So this one has the heavier mahogany. It also has the trem, with the block and all that. It's not a super heavy guitar by any means. It's a regular weight guitar. But the balance is really good. Better on this one. So the S series also originally would come with 22 frets. Now, since then, a more modern edition is they have added the 24 frets. But they've kind of had to modify the body a bit, like the cutaways, to do that. So it is more possible to hit the lower cutaway if you're shredding up top with your thumb behind the neck stuff. So it's not terrible, you can do it. And if you're standing up and your thumb's a bit higher or something like that, you're not really going to hit it, as you could see. But if you're playing like this, thumb behind the neck, your guitar's higher. There you go. So I know in this day and age it does get difficult to go to a guitar store since some are closing, some are going out of business. But if you can play one just to make sure it's okay, if you do a lot of shredding, I'd recommend that. And again, the access isn't terrible, you can do it. It's still like a shred guitar. Just if you're playing more extreme, just keep that in mind. Also on the S series, because the back is carved, there's less room in the electronics cavity. So if you want to do any modifications, maybe if you got a model that comes with passive pickups, this one has active pickups, but there's lots of models with passive pickups. If you want to switch to active pickups, it's going to be very difficult to fit a whole freaking battery in here. This one came with active pickups, so you could see it has the battery space, but they had to route away a space right here. And you might have to route some wood away if you're modifying an S series to have active pickups. In general, there's just less room in this cavity. So if you want to do any other kind of electronic components, like adding stuff in there, good luck. Although if the S series body speaks to you, or you don't care which body type you get, You just want the arch top. The S series does have more options on it currently. You could get the active pickups. This one actually has the Sub-Zero treated frets. I didn't realize that. So I told someone I don't have any guitars with Sub-Zero treated frets, but it turns out this one does. So I'll talk about this in the future. But there's even the Premium S series that has the stainless steel frets. For the RGA right now, your only option is the nickel silver frets. You'd have to get it refretted to get stainless steel, which I might do eventually if I wear through these frets. All right, so which body would I pick? Well, obviously I would pick both. I wouldn't make a choice because I've bought both. These are both my guitars. Again, I'm not sponsored. I do have a history with the S series. Back when I was playing live like a decade ago, it's been a while. I did play on an S470. I had good times on that. I put DiMarzio deactivators in it. Sounded pretty good. It's fun to play. Nice and light. But I know what you're thinking. Come on, don't cop out, make a choice. And my choice would be the RGA. When I started playing guitar and I was first getting into Ibanez guitars, my dream guitar was an RGA. Because I was a teenager, I couldn't really afford a good RGA. So I did get an S. And then, of course, when I first got a job and stuff like that, there were basically no more new RGAs. So fast forward to the present, I could finally get an RGA Prestige. Of course, the only option was this Axe Design Lab with all the frets, which are fun. They're useful. I would have bought the 24 fret model if that was an option in the Prestige trim. Of course, as I mentioned, the back fits me better whether I'm standing up, or it provides more wood on the bottom when I'm sitting down. The weight is fine. I do like the fret carveways and like how they look. Looks pretty cool, at least I think so. It basically has all the high priority features that I want that can't be changed, like the body. Of course you could carve away the body, refinish it, but I don't want to do that. Has a good neck, stuff like that. And all the things that I would have preferred to be different, the fret wire material, whether it has locking tuners or not, even the pickups, and the trem bridge. The trem bridge I can block. I actually prefer a blocked bridge so I can have the locking in two places, versus just a hardtail with nothing locking at the nut. Just my personal preference. But yeah, I can change the pickups, I can block the trem, stuff like that. But that doesn't mean you won't be seeing the S make appearances on the channel soon. I do like the S series, it's nice and light. This does have the active pickups I like. Hardtail is still nice to play with. Tuning it and restringing it is pretty easy. And yeah, if you had to pick one or the other, and maybe you preferred the S, I know I prefer the RGA, but if I had to only play the S, I think I'd be okay with that. It's still a pretty good guitar. The body shape is still plenty usable. You can sit with it, just don't push it off your lap. And I really don't plan on modifying this one anyway. It has all the features I want. And there's so many options for active or passive pickups. If you do prefer, for example, active pickups, but you get an S series and there's no room for a battery, well, there's passive pickups that are made to sound like actives more. DiMarzio has the deactivators. I think they made a second iteration of the deactivator. Bare Knuckle Pickups has the Black Hawk, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, did I answer your questions about these body shapes? Do you still have more questions, comments, insights, anything I missed? Let me know in the comments down below. This is YouTube, so I have to say the YouTube things. I'm so sorry. But like, comment, subscribe, share the video, print out every frame and mail it, just all that stuff. And as always, peace.